programming in recent years. Amid concerns over the Madison School District's widening academic achievement gap between white students and students of color, Simpson Street co-founder and executive director Jim Kramer has become an evangelist for the program. So Jim is going to lead off the program. And Jim, I'm not sure if you're going to have others from your group I see on today also participate. If they are, I'd ask you just to introduce them as well as you do that. So welcome, Jim Kramer. You're on mute right now, Jim. Perfect.
Thank you, everybody. I do have Simpson Street staffers with us today. One is Ben Rederson, our design editor and publications manager. We have Taylor Kilgore with us, the esteemed managing editor of Simpson Street Free Press. We also have Brandon Alvarez with us, who is a newsroom floor manager at Simpson Street. And Taylor, look, it's Joe Ballas.
I know,
Hi,
I'm
Joe.
so excited. Hi, Joe.
Brandon, do you want to just, I'm not sure how we're going to lead this off, but I bet you Brandon's going to introduce a short video. Is that right?
Yeah.
Brandon?
Yeah, for sure. Just, first things first, I just wanted to thank you for inviting us. We're proud that, South Rotary supports our work. And as it was stated earlier, Simpson Street Free Press was born, in South Madison. We're still there, the South Side, we're still there. And again, like it was mentioned, most of our students and staff, we live on the South Side, and we just have a 3-minute video that we'll show here. And that really just explains basically what we do at the Simpson Street Free Press. And it just really explains our approaches to, teaching, reading, writing, and math. So if we could, pull up our video here.
Simpson Street Free Press started in 1992 because parents in South Madison wanted after school and summer programs that focused on academic support.
We are a nonprofit that allows young people to hone their reading and writing skills through a journalism program. So they actually write for Simpson Street Free Press and they produce their own newspaper.
If you have not read some of their work, you would not know that they are kids.
One of the problems that we have as a community is that we don't have enough structured programming for young people. And having organized, structured, and fun and engaging programming that's meaningful is critical to the success of young people long term.
With an extended school day model, we're actually able to sit down with students and work on their writing for a while and see the progress that happens even with one article. We can work on that with them.
My youngest son went there. He's 21 now, thanks to Simpson Street Free Press. He's off into college now, and my grandkids are part of it still today. This program works.
My daughter was the youngest, started when she was 9. Structure over there was very supportive of her as a learner.
A lot of volunteers work here, people that are very educated. Everybody bring their own skills and pass to our kids, and that's great.
We have a partnership with the UW-Madison Physics Department. They come here and tutor our students on math and science.
Almost every student who joins Simpson Street Free Press and test scores go up almost immediately. In the coming years, our strategic plan will be focused on Madison's reading crisis. But this curriculum, these methods, this approach to extended day academics can be adopted at almost any site.
It's critical for young people to be able to see themselves beyond their circumstance and their situation. And this program helps them with that opportunity.
Those kids, I tell you, everything that Simpson Street Free Press has done for them, they are going to pay it forward. I think about them in the workforce someday. They really are our future leaders.
They're not ashamed to ask for help. And the prize they receive when they open up one of these right here. And it says Simpson Street Free Press, and then they open up to a different page, and then they see the article that they wrote. That's joy.
I love to see the smile on their face when they get their articles published and how happy and accomplished they feel. And that's really how I felt when I was a kid.
Ben, I think you're going to run through some quick slides, right?
Oh, Ben, we can't. Oh, I can't hear you. But anyways, the just real quick to jump in here. The slides that Ben are showing here, just for reference, we're not going to take too much time on these. It's just there's a lot of stuff that's been extremely well documented in the past, and it's really just showing what achievement gaps look like here in Madison. And we should also, I just want to, quickly note that all of this data that we have right here is coming straight from Wisconsin DPI.
Thank you, Brandon. Hi, everyone. So for this slide, I wanted to start by saying at Simpson Street Free Press, young people practice language, art skills, and fun and, very engaging ways. New students who join Simpson Street, they really very quickly improve on their GPA and their overall performance in general in the classroom. We use Infinite Campus specifically to watch grades, school day attendance, and assignment completion. We also follow school-based tests and forward exam results. And so you can see some of this here in this slide. So what you're looking at is how we use school-based test scores to monitor our student progress. So you can see here that it's color-coded. Ben, I'm not sure if you want to jump in briefly to describe a little bit how the colors work, but this is kind of how we're looking at school progress.
Can you hear me, Taylor?
Yep, just a little quiet, but I can hear you.
All right, I'll speak up a little. So what we really care about is improvement over time. Students will every year learn a little bit more and get better, but very often if you have a student in third grade who's below proficiency in reading, in fourth grade, they're still going to be below proficiency. In fifth grade, it'll continue forward. So what we want to see as we measure our students is we want to see their proficiency move through these proficiency categories. And so the red is like very, very far, it's called below basic proficiency. They don't really know anything. And then the yellow is just basic or minimal proficiency. The green is reading or math at grade level. And then the blue is ahead. And so what we see as students stay in the program for 3 or 4 semesters is we see them start to move up through those proficiency categories from the yellow to the green to the blue. And that's really what we're after is growth above grade level expected, I guess you could say.
Yep. Thanks, Ben. Exactly. We're connecting the work that we do to the school day and the progress that our students are making, not only at Simpson Street, but within their day-to-day work as well at school.
At Simpson Street Free Press, we're known for saying things like, we always measure the same things. Well, that's not, of course, strictly the case. But that expression accurately reflects our mission and our thinking. School grades and attendance, prolific readers and writers, confident students, that's always what we're after. Those are outcomes. Our evaluation systems combine school-based measures and in-house trimester evaluations. Ongoing relationships with parents and teachers help us evaluate program success. And we use that information to constantly improve program quality.
Right, and what's important to remember here is that Simpson Street Free Press outcomes or results are obvious and readily available for everyone to see. Outcomes from Simpson Street Free Press include hundreds of articles produced by student writers. And this is a picture of, once an article is posted, we take the packet, we put it away in a file, and this is sort of one's waiting to be filed here. They're all great reads published by hardworking kids. It's also important to remember that SSFP publications are popular. We reach and inspire thousands of young readers. In a very real sense, the people who judge our outcomes are readers, Dane County kids and families. SSFP has a loyal and always growing audience of young readers.
The last 2 years have been a roller coaster ride for those of us who are involved in the field of academic achievement. SSFP programs, we challenge achievement gaps. Everybody in Madison has been talking about achievement gaps for so long. Our approach is very focused. We use award-winning curriculum. Writing for publication is project-based learning. So is running a small business, and ideas drive our business. Students learn to innovate, write well, and publish on multiple platforms. They use technology. What Simpson Street does, I think, is we demonstrate the power of out-of-school time academics, the power of extending the learning day. Now, we don't replicate a classroom at all. This is, again, project-based learning. It's different than a classroom, but the kids are honing and polishing academic skills that quickly transfer to the classroom.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Jim here. For us, out of school time is very important. It's very important, it's very powerful. And we personally believe that it's crucial, if Madison is really going to address, how reading scores, how low they are, and if we want to have, if we see, the persistent, achievement gaps and things like that, there's, we know for a fact that there isn't enough time, for every school teacher in every classroom to sit down with a student, for say 30, 40, maybe even 50 minutes, it really is impossible. And I know that firsthand, specifically, I know how it is. I see it, it is very, very difficult, sometimes to help, certain students that can't really reach that same level as maybe their classmates are. So we believe, we believe in close reading, and we believe that out of school programs can really help those students specifically. Yeah. So that's basically, that's basically what we think. That's basically what we do. We believe that more youth programs in Madison should focus on academics, just because there's programs out there, and if those programs were focusing on those academics and helping those students, say like with close reading, things like that, we would see a rise in how students would be able to reach that level that they should be on.
You're seeing here, look, Joe, it's Deidre. Joe, did you hear Deidre is now recently named assistant principal at Capitol High School?
Yes, I did hear that. Congratulations. That's awesome.
What you're seeing here is Brandon mentioned close reading. That's a well-known term in the field of education, but close reading is it's a strategy, it's an activity. It really means reading with a purpose and incorporating writing or note-taking into the process. And you can imagine as a kid moves an article through towards publication, towards being completed, there's just round after round of close reading, which is what editing is. Editing and revision is where the learning happens. And boy, we do a lot of it. And again, as Brandon pointed out, there's no way the typical classroom teacher can spend 40 minutes a day with every single kid doing close reading. That's the job for out of school time programs. And we do a lot of it. And at Simpson Street, it's very interesting because, well, everybody knows that if a middle school kid gets a paper back and says, revise this and hand it in, the middle school kid is like, oh, I want to be done. But at Simpson Street, kids are thirsty to get their hands on their second, third, and fourth draft because they know it pushes them closer to completing their assignment. Here's another example of close reading and editing. And again, you're noticing that many of you probably already know this, but much of our staff are high school juniors and seniors and college students who grew up doing Simpson Street. They know it backward and forward. For instance, both Brandon and Taylor Kilgore started with us. Taylor, I think, started in middle school, didn't you? Now,
yeah, yep.
now she has a degree in journalism from UW-Madison. Brandon started with us in high school. And that's really the formula that works for us. We are constantly producing our own, we're growing our own dedicated, skilled, and experienced out of school time language arts instructors. That's our formula.
Then I also, if I can jump in here real quick, Jim, you know, we at Simpson Street, you know, we at Simpson Street, our operations continued, you know, throughout this whole pandemic. You know, we've been able to deliver high impact academic instructions, you know, right during after school and summer hours, specifically now, you know, Simpson Street, we at Simpson Street, you know, we were able to demonstrate our expertise. You know, I remember when the schools closed, that very same day that they closed, we were able to pivot, you know, quick, you know, to provide online learning to hundreds of our local kids that very same day. So we saw it, we prepared for it, and we were able to tackle it head on. And I think a lot of that is because we see the C-19 crisis a lot like Madison Summer Slide. Us at Simpson Street, you know, we're actively addressing this key part of the crisis. And really, we now, you know, we're right now, as it stands, we're offering in person, online, remote, you know, hybrid schedules for all of our students. And I think that's one of I love that we're able to do that. I love that we're able to provide that for all of our students, because all of our students, you know, they're in different situations, and just being able to, you know, we have family convenience in mind, you know, and that's a key strategy for us, and it has been during this whole pandemic.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Brandon said, boy, you know, none of us know for sure how much learning loss has occurred during the pandemic, but we do know kids have suffered, and we're very proud of what Simpson Street has been able to do during the pandemic. Our volunteers and our editors use email, phone calls, Zoom, various other online tools to work one-on-one with students. Our kids, by the way, are in grades 2 through 12. Our editors use Google Docs, online slug sheets, and they're constantly monitoring student assignments. I really need to do a shout out to our high school and college age editors and our volunteer editors. You know, they've been frontline heroes during C-19. Their work has really been remarkable. Experienced and dedicated young activists and educators, SSFP student editors mobilized and managed these online tools. And even during the C-19 event and what we've all been through the last 2 years, I'm very confident that SSFP results are always clear and measurable. Mm-hmm. So I guess what we'd like to do is throw it open to some questions, a Q&A session, and see if there's anything you guys would like to discuss or ask about us.
Hey, Jim, this is Joe. I'll just, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw this out for we have a lot of members in our club, some of whom are new since the last time you guys presented to us. And I just wanted to tell them that Jim started this whole thing back many years ago when I was a neighborhood cop down on Simpson Street for 4 years. That's where Jim and I first crossed paths in the early 1990s. And I'm proud to have been helping with this for many years. And when it's captain of the South District, starting around 2010 or so, I was on Jim's board for many years. And Madison South Rotary has been a huge supporter every year that I can go back and think about of everything that they are trying to do over there. I want to give a shout out to Mike Dillis. Jim, you might remember a few years ago, Mike and Leanne are in the room today. Mike and Findorf helped
Mike
do your
very well, actually.
Yeah, Mike helped do the expansion
Yes, he did.
over there at your current shop over at over on Southtown Mall. So just a really, really great, Jim, congratulations. You guys are just amazing at what you continue to do. I don't really have a question for you, but just so happy you guys could be presenting here right now, and make sure to get your grant application in because it's due here in early March.
We're ready, Joe. Don't worry. And thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Anyone else like to?
Jim, this is Jackie C. We were in the room together, and the breakout room, and I was mentioning that we had a meeting at your facility, and that I don't know how long ago that was. Joe, maybe you remember. Maybe we had a meeting afterwards. I don't know if we met there or we came to tour it afterwards, but Jim said he'd love to have us come on over sometime and actually have our meeting there. So I think it'd be a great idea. I'd love to.
So to make the invitation official, most of you had not jumped on yet when we were talking about this. You're welcome anytime. It's conveniently located on the south side, right off the Beltline. And it's a cool place. Since your meetings are during the day, there wouldn't necessarily be any kids there, but there'd be a few staff milling around, and we would provide the lunch. We'd have an authentic Southside Chinese meal catered in, and you guys could enjoy all the maps and books and stuff that we have all over our place. It's a nice place for a meeting. And the invitation is always on.
Thank you. I think it'd be awesome.
We will definitely take you up on that. Other questions? Yeah, Dan.
So Jim, how many kids are served in the program?
Well, during the course of a calendar year, over 200 kids. You know, some of those are summer book club kids, but you know, Ben, would you say 2021 about maybe 240 total?
It was about 243 according to my count.
Okay.
But there's, you know, you can.
We have a lot of locations and a 7-day-a-week schedule now.
Yep.
And we've been adding as many kids as possible during the pandemic because learning loss is a serious concern. And the more kids that can have out of school time, after school and summer academic support, the more we're contributing to these current circumstances.
Wow. That's great.
Steve has a question.
I think it's fantastic that you're helping this experiential learning and it translates into the classroom. Your storytellers, tell us a story about a young student who transformed through your program. Can you just give us an idea of how that happens?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the last part of the question.
If you could give us a specific example of a young person who came to work at the Simpson Street Press and began to excel and did better in school. It'd be nice to personalize what you're achieving there.
Oh yeah, countless examples of that. Is Taylor still on with us? Taylor, are you still here?
Yeah, hi.
Dazzle us.
Yeah, so was the question, so the question was around like how,
Yeah, give
like how,
give us
Tell
an
your story.
example of a kid who
yeah,
joined
my
Simpson
story.
Street and then excelled. And Taylor, I don't think you were behind in school, but when you joined us, your mom told me that she's just not serious about her academics.
Yeah, I
That's not the
wasn't,
case anymore, is it? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I do like to talk about my story, and I think it's interesting that I come across young students now as an adult that have the same story as me growing up through Simpson Street. So I started, like Jim had said earlier, in 8th grade. And yeah, I really didn't take school very seriously. I knew like it probably was important, but I couldn't really see why or how that young at the time. And so my mom, I forgot what happened exactly, but my mom heard about the program, talked to me about Simpson Street Free Press, and then I remembered like saying like, why would I want to like write and read outside of after school? Like, so, but my mom made me do it and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I quickly realized the importance of it after being there. And I was encouraged a lot. I think that's really what drove me today, and especially in my passion of writing, because I was really praised for being a smart kid, being intelligent, being able to write well, maybe not right away, but having the potential to do that and to be amazing. And so essentially, I just built up my confidence, my academic confidence, and then I started to find the purpose and the reason for education, and just how crucial it was, and especially how crucial being able to read and write well. And so that definitely led me into my path into the journalism school, J School at UW-Madison. And I focused there even more on my writing and what that meant for my career. And then so from there, I continued through school, just really excited about writing, and I can't say enough. And I definitely can attribute that back to Simpson Street days. And eventually I got so confident, even going back to high school, so confident that, I was taking AP English courses, honors courses in other subjects. And it's something that I don't think I would have pushed myself to do until I really felt that academic confidence from my published articles and things. Currently, so I graduated actually in 2017 from UW-Madison's journalism school. I'm currently very involved with Simpson Street Free Press, but also work at CUNA Mutual Group as well here in Madison. So yeah, huge shout out to Simpson Street Free Press that I love and continue to support and work with.
Yeah, lots of examples of this sort of thing, of course, but
yeah,
focus on Taylor for a second more. Taylor's been published State Journal, Cap Times, lots of other places, highly respected voice now in the field of education, the reading debates and the other debates that go on in Madison and Union County about academics. Taylor is a highly respected voice. She is hosting two upcoming public forums for school board candidates, along with the State Journal and the Cap Times. Taylor has become quite a respected voice in the field of education in Madison.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Thanks for that shout out for sure. I also would just jump in to say real quick that, with our model and of growing our own kind of thing, by the time I was in high school, I was editing with young kids of, elementary, middle school students. I was Then when I got into college, I was working close with elementary, middle school, and the high school teen editors. And so it just really felt good to always constantly give back the learning that I got at Simpson Street, and encourage and build that academic confidence with all the other students that I was able to work with as I got older through the program. So I think that's really part of our success too, is having an example like myself being able to teach children like Brandon is today as well.
Yeah, I would just say that Taylor, of course, makes an excellent point. That formula at Simpson Street is just a rock solid pillar of youth programming on the south side of Madison. There are always new and expert, dedicated young instructors coming up through our pipeline, and we pay our editors quite well. You know, when they get to be juniors in high school, they can apply for editor's job, and it is definitely a part-time job. And a big part of what they do is help and assist younger kids. To do the one-on-one close reading sessions is very, very important. And I tell you, it's a formula that works. The elementary age kids look up to the middle school kids. The middle school kids look up to the high school kids. And the high school kids look up to the college age editors. And all of us look up to Taylor and Brandon for what they do. Other questions?
Leanne has a question. Leanne Dillis.
Hi, Jim. I was wondering, are you able to allow every child that wants in a spot, or is there a waiting list?
We do have waiting lists, yes. We've been taking as many new kids as we can, but yes, we currently have waiting lists. Almost always do. It's funny, United Way, Joe still asks all the question on the application, how do you recruit kids for your program? And we always answer every year, we've never had to recruit a kid. Kids, you know, parents, kids, classroom teachers, they all know who we are. And new applications come in every week.
Yeah.
And we take them as fast as we can.
Other questions? All right, well, I'll spin this around so you can see me. Thank you, Jim, Brandon, Taylor, Ben. It was really nice to see you guys, hear your stories, meet you, and thank you for everything that you do to help the youth in our community. We, as a Madison South Rotary Club, make a contribution on behalf of all speakers and including you today to the End Polio Now Fund for Rotary International that helps to eradicate polio in the world. So we will do that in your honor as well. Thank you again for being here. Dan, you want to give us a little preview of our speaker for next week?
Next week, Dawn Fiedler will be here to talk about social media's role in trafficking our youth. She will be here live.
Awesome. Interesting. Well, remember to sign up if you're going to be here in person for lunch. Otherwise, we'll see you on Zoom. Thanks again, everyone, and see you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So,